Elyse Bogart. This is my studio. Welcome. I had an older brother. He was artistic. He's probably the person who first put a pencil or a crayon in my hand as it relates to jewelry making, metal design. We lived in an old house in Oklahoma City. It's one of those houses where the main bedroom was just off the living room, divided by French doors, glass paneled French doors. Being a little kid, I was eyeball to eyeball with the glass doorknobs. And I was fascinated by them, and I wanted my parents to take them off so I could figure out how to make it into a ring. And of course, this thing's, the size of a baseball. And they said no. Surprisingly enough, they wouldn't take it off. And I think all that eventually played into going into art school. Make mistakes, make mistakes, make mistakes, make mistakes. I wish I could get my students to understand that that's really important, but they're so afraid of making a mistake that they freeze up. And I tell them, failure is your best teacher. I can't pick out just one mistake because I've made plenty of them. I followed my own advice, or the advice I was given. It would be my late husband, George, who was a great teacher, professor of art at OU, and a painter, an artist. He was my biggest supporter, always inspired me to do more, make mistakes, and work my way out of them, and just keep doing it, keep working. Specifically to metal design and jewelry making, it would be the late John Cogswell, who came to the Firehouse several times, starting, I think, in maybe 2000, year 2000, teaching workshops. I considered him to be my mentor from afar. He pushed me when he would be here looking at my work, or I would call him or text him or email him with a problem or something, and he just was very encouraging and inspiring to me, the way he taught workshops and classes, the way he approached things. It's very inspiring to me. The process, I love figuring out what to do and then how to do it. If I am designing something, I am more of an intuitive designer than a educated designer. I don't necessarily follow all those, rules, the principles of design and all that stuff. I sit here and draw, doodle things, do blind drawings sometimes and pull images out, or I'll design around a stone. But that whole process of moving things around, kind of like a puzzle in a way, figuring out what to do, and then I've got to figure out how to do it, how to make that that idea turn into a real piece of jewelry. And that's the best thing, because that part of figuring out how to put it all together. Well, I try really, really hard to have a really high skill level in my work. That's really important to me. Really nice solder joins, things fitting together well, finished surfaces the way I want them. Nothing shoddy about it. That's just really important to me. My work does tend to the abstract even if I'm using imagery, like a lot of the floral things or the birds I've been doing lately, they're still abstracted from something. Well, I've lived it my whole adult life, and even as a kid, I was always drawing and painting, and I've always been interested in at least seeing pictures of art. Once when I was in high school, there was an exhibition at, the Gold Dome Bank on 23rd. It was in there, and it was Picasso prints. And my mom took me to see that. And it was just so awesome to see these things that were actually, not in a book. And then, since I was always drawing and painting, when it came time to go to college, there was just no question that I was going to go to art school. It was always such an important thing to me. It's just like, this is how I want to live. This is what I want to do. I was just immersed in it, and just have been my whole life. And I don't know what I would do without it. It's very fulfilling to me to sit here and work on something, even if it's not something very important, even if it's just a tiny little something for somebody. It's good. It's good. It feeds me. This is Elyse Bogart. Thank you for visiting my studio. I appreciate it.